All right, here we go. I mean, Matt. We'll just call him Matt. Mate. It's probably Mate. Matt would have two T's. Mate and Bishop on King's Pass. I think I just got word that this isn't actually even game one, but we'll find out after this. Bishop going in for the first weapon, gets the axe. Mate responding in kind with his own axe, and both players start throwing out side airs.
Axe did just get a buff, and Mate with that neutral light catches Bishop mid down air, but Bishop able to get a down air into a neutral air, trying to get that unarmed down air on top of Mate, but Mate with that hammer keeping him at bay. They're going to go to opposite sides of the map so Bishop can pick up those guns, gets a down light into a side air, and Mate getting dangerously close to that mine.
Bishop doing a great job of being able to hit him with these down lights as he tries to go for the weapon. And going in with the hammer side air into the neutral light, not quite connecting. Bishop going for a very unsafe ground pound, but doesn't get punished for it. Gets the side air into weapon toss and sends Mate into the deep red.
Ooh, and the immediate pop-up side air from Bishop is going to send Mate to his first death.
Yeah, what a terrifying way to follow up that weapon toss is with a hammer side air. Or with an axe side air, especially when you're in the red. Mate, however, going in for that neutral signature, sends Bishop into the ground and into the orange. It's going to take a few more hits like that to be able to deal with Barraza's teammates.
Bishop once again with the guns, going to try to catch him with a down light or a down air as Mate is trying to get on top of him, but Mate gets the side air through the neutral lights. And Bishop is going to go back to pushing for that down air.
Mate going into the neutral light with the hammer. Doesn't quite work. Bishop getting that down air into neutral light combo, but gets hit by one axe move. Launched off the side of the map, which looked like it wasn't going to kill, but Mate already in the orange, tosses all the weapons aside, finds the axe, but gets punished by these Bishop down airs.
Bishop is finding these angles on the Mate that Mate I don't think is ready for. With that axe, he could have been throwing out some downlights to stop those unarmed down airs, with Mate maybe not as comfortable with axe as he could be. Bishop, on the other hand, has an axe in his hands and just throws it away immediately. Switches it up, picks up a different axe, and goes for the side sig. But Mate is sticking in that shenanigans area right now. Gets caught by the neutral sig from Bishop.
Yeah, the neutral sig landed, but not quite connecting. Bishop goes for that gravy cancel down sig to execute him. Doesn't land either, but he's still not getting punished. Mate, however, goes for an excellent gravy cancel neutral signature. Hits him into the yellow. Bishop finding the guns, goes for neutral sig himself, but not really finding anything to punish him. Mate's doing a great job of holding onto his stock, and any damage here he gets right now is kind of his benefit.
Gliding side sig doesn't connect. Bishop gets the down air on top of Mate. Can't get any sort of ground pound follow, but Mate getting deep into the red. If Bishop's able to get a good ground pound on the side of the wall, it could spell death for Mate. Or a side air.
The second side air of the match, killing Mate off the side of the map and taking a solid one stock lead. It's Teros. Bishop goes in for the gun toss, doesn't quite connect, and Mate gets two solid hits to a side air and evens it up almost immediately. Bishop being in the yellow, but it only took a side air into a weapon toss to make this match essentially even. Mate holds onto the axe, Bishop finds an axe of his own, and both players are back into the neutral.
Sidelight into a side air from Bishop, tries to read the jump, but can't catch the neutral sig on the Mate, but he gets the immediate down air, can't get the gravity cancel neutral light, and Mate not able to get a big enough punish onto Bishop.
Bishop holding on to the guns, goes for that side air, doesn't connect. Mate gets an excellent down light into his side air, putting more damage on the Bishop's Barraza. There's another down air. Bishop's kind of losing control of the momentum after that last stock. Mate slowly taking ahead, but there's the down air into the gravy cancel neutral light, does a decent amount of damage, and evens it up and sends him into the red.
Bishop starting to fish for these signatures. Mate tries to fish for signatures of his own.
Goes for the recovery to reposition. Goes for a side air, but gets punished by a weapon toss, but that excellent side air sends Bishop flying. And the ground pound kills him off the bottom of the map. An excellent comeback from Mate, who in my opinion was all but down that entire game.
Absolutely. I thought Bishop was in control for the most part, and then at the last minute, Mate makes the comeback and finishes it off with that ground pound into Bishop's recovery, and Bishop not able to get the shot off in time. The recovery hits, and Bishop gets sent down to his death.
Bishop informing us that it is 1-1, so we did join the middle of the match, but luckily we're able to see at least two games in this 3. Bishop switching up his skin color choice on Barraza. Mate staying to his Teros. We're moving into the next map, not quite sure what it is. We'll find out in just a minute. There it is, Shipwreck Falls. Game 3 of this best of 3.
2,
Mate and Bishop.
1, brawl!
Bishop starting off, tries to go for an unarmed jump nair, but catches Mate with the downlight into the gravity cancel neutral light. Once again, Mate has the hammer this time, gets caught by the downlight into a side air from Bishop. Ground pound, can't get the recovery hit.
Mate's struggling to get in at all. Bishop covering all avenues of approach. Shipwreck Falls being a single platform, so he can't really maneuver his way above the map other than jumping. Bishop goes for a down air to be able to put more damage on the Mate's Teros, sending him into the red. Goes for another down air, doesn't connect, but Mate doesn't get a punish on it. And Bishop finds the guns.
Mate fishing for that axe nair, gets a dare on the Bishop, but Bishop with that spot dodge is not going to get bounced up into that. Mate fishing for his signature a little bit early. Bishop only in the yellow right now with that 8 defense Barraza. He's got the guns, gets a nice side air on the Mate. Can't get that gravity cancel.
Barraza just using whatever gun moves necessary to be able to get him out, and barely clips him with that neutral signature. That was surprising. It looked like Teros barely walked into that hitbox, gets caught, and launches off the side of the map. Bishop takes a solid stock lead once again. Mate goes for those neutral signatures, but they never seem to quite connect. Goes for a down air. Bishop tosses his guns into his face, tries to pick them up again, but fails. Calls the horn in. What will he find? Doesn't matter. Mate trying to deny him weapons. Bishop goes for that down air. No. He's just going to continue going for unarmed.
Fishing for those down airs. Switches it up, wants to use those guns, which he's been very effective with. Racks up a lot of damage. Can't get the side air, and Mate gets on top of him, catches him with the side air. Switches it up, tries to get the hammer. If he can get a stomp into a neutral sig on one of the edges, it could be enough. Oh, goes for a sidelight instead of the stomp.
Ooh, and the landing neutral air sends Bishop flying. Doesn't quite end the stock because of that heavy defense from Barraza. Goes for a gravy cancel neutral air, or signature, which is terrifying. And then follows it up with a side air with the hammer to end the stock. Mate finds himself into the orange.
Mate fishing for these down airs, wants to start something on Bishop, but Bishop is staying outside of that hitbox as the guns can't get the gravity cancel down sig, but an immediate ground pound will catch Mate as he's going underneath.
The axe. Bishop goes for a very unsafe side signature with the axe. Gets punished by a side air. Another side air sends him a little bit farther into the yellow, but there's that down sig. Excellent usage of the Barraza down sig, being able to, because it allows him to reposition backwards to read an approach or a dodge. Matt went for a sidelight, Bishop threw out the down sig and ended Mate's stock.
Mate can't get the side sig on the Bishop. Bishop tries to charge forward with that gun side air. There's one side air. Mate trying to bait around with that weapon toss. Throws it straight down to see if Bishop will panic dodge.
Bishop lands with the down air. Goes for another down air. Gets the goes for the down sig follow up. Pretty creative, but doesn't connect. And Mate is ready to punish. Holds onto the hammer. Goes for that neutral light. Sends him flying. The hammer toss to be able to force him to recover low. Goes for a signature, and he gets it. The neutral sig sends Bishop flying, but the high defense keeps him alive.
Mate fishing for that signature, wants to kill off Bishop and get the 1-1, but Bishop right now, there's the death. But Mate already in the deep red. If Bishop's able to get a set of guns or an axe and just get that side air, then Mate might be in some trouble.
Yeah, catching that mine upon respawn, surprising Mate and myself. Hence the down air, sends him flying below the stage, goes for the ground pound follow, but doesn't connect. Still going for unarmed, but gets hit by a stomp into a neutral signature, and Matt finds another neutral sig, sending Bishop into the yellow. He's getting the damage slowly, but anything counts at this point. This is his match stock. Finds that side air into another side air, sends him into the orange, and the recovery. He's low on jumps.
Bishop is in trouble right now, makes it over Mate and makes it back to safety, but Mate got a lot of damage off onto Bishop, and things aren't looking so bleak for Mate anymore. Bishop with his axe starting to panic right now as the stocks and the health get closer to each other.
The bomb was so close.
Oh, and Mate goes for the plays, tries to throw the bomb at Bishop, but Bishop 8 defense, slightly less damage on him, survives.